Hey Hope, how are you? I hope you get feeling better. Yes, Nevita is much better. She's actually back to her usual self. Thank God. Um, because since she's very energetic, to see her like that, like very, you know, quiet, like it was very worrying. But yes, she's doing okay. She's great. And also in my case, I was talking to my friend yesterday, and because I was telling her that I had been having this pain, that I was telling you guys about. I had my wisdom, well, my wisdom tooth removed from this side, and it was really hard for me to sleep at night. And I was taking the medication, everything, for the pain, for the infection, for everything. But there were moments where my face would hurt, my face. That's why I had so much trouble, like speaking. For example, if I spoke like too many times, like I had to have consultations, and I also had to record for the channel, and just talk. And I would, like, at the end of the day, I would have my whole face would hurt. It was awful. Today, like almost a week since, I don't know, today is a week that I had this procedure. Today I can say that I kind of feel better. Um, but it was very painful, and actually and I had everything here very swollen. Like even my ear would hurt, here, and my friend actually was telling me that maybe the reason for that is that when the person did the pressure and the pull to get the teeth out, that she probably hurt my chin or my jaw, actually this side, that she probably hurt like the bone. That's why I was in so much pain. And I think that makes more sense, actually, because it's not that I was hurting my gums or the place where the tooth is missing. No, it was like I was hurting in the bones, in here, in this part. So it was awful, awful. It was like as if someone hit me, like awful. I never had experience something, a pain like that, and that lasted so long, because I remember the first two that they took out. It was another dentist, but he did it the same day, and I think it took me 2 days to recover. Actually, it wasn't that big of a deal. So now I'm impressed at how much pain I had to endure. I didn't know what else to take, to calm the pain. It was awful. Hey, Samara. So I think that she was right about this. Maybe when he took the teeth out, he did an extra effort, or he pushed too much that it hurt my chin or my jaw, because definitely I felt that pain on my bones, like more than on the place that on the gums. I used to say, oh, my gums are hurting while I'm speaking, but actually I think that it's the whole structure of here, more on this side that is, and now I have swollen here because of all the time I tried to eat, and I would eat with this side to avoid getting food on this side. So now this part hurts. I don't know. But I think that yes, something must have happened. Hypervati. But it was serious because actually, like I was the other day also. On first day, I had my classes, my online classes, and I swear that I, I try to be present, but it would hurt so much. Like I would be like this, like this, like this, like constantly feeling very in pain, very, very awkward, like, because it's your face. I don't know how people that they get plastic surgery, I don't know how they do it to manage the pain. Because you are. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great, Samana. Enjoy. Please enjoy this week. Go do something fun. I saw something, Parvati. Is it true? Is it true that he died? Okay, Spirit. But that's another guy, right? That's not Oli London, because if it was Oli London, they would say Oli London. This was another guy. I cut them. I just saged them. Sorry. Sorry, guys, that I'm having breakfast in front of you, but actually, with having this problem in my tooth after the wisdom tooth removal, like actually, I don't know, and I have to go next week to get another, like cleansing and everything. But honestly, I'm scared because this was very traumatic for me. It took a long time to heal and it was very painful. And I never experienced something like that after an extraction. So I don't know. I will have to talk to the dentist about it and ask him if he thinks that there was something. Maybe he did a movement or something on my face that it was what actually hurt my jaw. But I actually I'm a bit and also, I was thinking that since also, I'm sorry I'm sharing too much, but I believe we're all females here. I'm also on my period, so I think that also the cicatrization and everything is taking longer because I'm on my period. So, you know, yes, I did get the wisdom tooth extraction spirit, but the thing is that today it's been 7 days since I had it. And everything was fine, and it was healing and everything. But all of a sudden, I started having trouble. Like, for example, it would hurt over here. It would hurt if I would have to speak too much, for example. Um, or if I would have to, I don't know, go to sleep and put my face and I tried everything. I took all the pills, all the medicine. I had the ice pack on me. I had a heated pack also with me. I did everything, and I was very much in pain. I was telling people oh, my gums hurt. That's why, guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to stop talking because I feel like my gums are hurting. And actually, it wasn't my gums. Actually, it was like my bone, the bone here. It was all swollen, and even it would make my ear hurt, like it would escalate all the way. Um, and it was like I couldn't sleep because of the pain. Then I would get pain here and here. So it was awful. I had wisdom tooth removals before. I had two in the same day. And they were hidden. They were the ones over here, and they were really like the ones that are sideways and hidden and very stuck inside. And those were actually like after the recovery was faster. So I don't know what happened this time. My friend said that probably the dentist pulled too hard or pulled too much that it hurt my jaw. Yeah, but it was, Samara, I swear, the other day when I was in BC with you guys, that we talk a lot, but I actually couldn't say that much because it was start. I was like, okay, guys, I gotta go because my gums hurt, but it wasn't like my gums. It was like my whole face, and it's a constant pain. It's a constant pain. Like honestly, my stomach is also a mess because of all the pills that I've been taking, the painkillers. It was awful, guys. Now, today, I feel better, even though my other side is starting to hurt because I usually use more this side to eat or to chew food. So now this side is starting to hurt, not this side so much. But even when I had to attend online classes and I had to talk or I had to be, just like I'm here, sitting here paying attention, I would be like this all the time. I wouldn't be able to, to be present because the pain was too much. Yeah, but now I'm feeling better, actually. Now I'm feeling better. Now I can finally sleep at night, without the ice pack and everything. But this week, it was awful. This week, it was awful. I almost like, I also blame mate. I was like, because every time you get a removal, they usually tell you that you shouldn't have mate for that day, because when you blow, when you drink through this mental straw, you absorb air, so it can go to the zone, you know. So I think that they are like 24 hours without drinking, from the straw. But then the other day when we had the live that Sunday, I would be having mate. And I was like, oh, maybe I had mate too soon. Maybe I had to wait. But no, it was all about the bone. It was here. The pain was here. Yes, spirit, it's better. But I think that I never experienced that kind of constant pain. I never that's why I was like, that's not the healing. I thought that, honestly, I thought that it was like the inflammation of the gum where the tooth was. I was like, okay, it's taking longer to recover. But no, I think that when it comes to the gums, it's completely fine. Like, it doesn't hurt at all. It's closed. But here, here, this is where, and I had today I'm looking better, but yesterday I woke up and I had all this swollen here. Like, I was very swollen down here. Um, I don't know, guys. I guess I think he like my friend said, he must have pushed too much or done extra effort. So maybe he hit some part of my bone when he did it. Because with the excuse that they put this amnesia. I'm sorry, not amnesia, anesthesia. Anesthesia, not that they put this anesthesia. They are like, okay, there you go. Like, you won't feel anything. But probably a part of me did feel something. Did feel the pull. I think I felt the pull. It wasn't like it was hurting, but I felt it. It was awful. I was like, maybe, because it had happened to me when I had to go, during pandemic, I had to go different times to the dentist. So it was like once every 4 days, for example, to get some checkups. And I would get so nervous that probably that same day I would get like back pain, or I would get some kind of sore in my body because I was tense. But in this case, it was just the bone. It wasn't that I was tense. Um, so yeah. And I was so annoyed also because I couldn't eat, and honestly, like, it's not that you know, I am thinking about food 24/7. But when it was time to eat, you know, I would be like, for example, I had breakfast. I had these, like, these are very soft, and I also had this, you know, this, how do you call them, the bread that is a square. That is very soft. Can I remember that? Well, that bread. And I will have it with some jam on it, and I wouldn't be able to eat it like without being very like being hurting. So it was annoying to eat, annoying. And I also had a lot of smashed potatoes. I had a lot of. Mmm. I swear, yeah, I swear that it felt like someone hit me on the face. You know, like here. Like, but I would blame it all to the tooth. I was like, no, maybe it's the gum, maybe it's inflammation. No, it was literally on the bone. So, awful, guys, awful, awful. And and I was like, you know, I was also worried because the time would pass by, you know, and I was like, I still felt, and you know, when you have this, and also this is something that it's something to also take into consideration. If you ever felt like a constant pain somewhere, you know, like a constant pain, it gets on your mind, you know, it gets on your mood, it gets on you, you know, you, like, I was so moody, and I was so, like, because I was in pain. Thank you, Spirit. I was in pain and I had so many things to do. And also, you know, guys, my job is to talk to people. My job is to talk to people. So obviously, this is very personal. You know, this is like a tool for me that somehow, you know, because my face hurt or because, you know, yeah, yes, my voice is fine, but my face is not. Like my structure is not. You know, so definitely, I think that's that's something that when you have that constant pain, is it gets on your nerves. It gets on your nerves. You get very sensitive. You get very, you know, very on the defensive because you are not feeling well. You know, like somehow there's a pain, like you know, um, beating in the background. You know, like hello, I'm here, and you cannot think about anything else but that you are in pain. So I don't know. I feel sorry for the people that maybe went through a sort of like a fracture, like you say. It must be, definitely, it must be like very annoying and a very stressful moment because, you know, this is my first time and I went crazy. Like, I really, like, I was like, why can't I sleep? If I already took the painkillers, why can I, like, was awful, guys, awful. Okay, I want to show you the decks that I got from the book depository that I believe that is closed already. So I'm mourning also that they are not that their website is no longer available for me to get these decks that, and also the prices were really good, cheaper than if I would have gotten here in Argentina some. And I took the opportunity. I made free purchases, 2 oracles, 1 tarot deck, because honestly, like the 1 tarot deck that I believe that it's indie, or I don't know. I show you a few pictures, guys. That is the Mermaid Tarot by Dane Gracie or Dane Darcy, something like that. I love that deck. I want that deck. I want it. Definitely, I want it. But I think they have it only on Etsy or Amazon. So I don't know if it's an indie tarot deck. But if it was on Book Depository, which I Googled, I searched for it, and it wasn't. So, you know, that was probably one of the tarot decks that I would be like, okay, I'm going to buy it. But honestly, when it comes to tarot decks, I have a lot. I have a lot of tarot decks, and I know that probably a lot more are going to come out. A lot more tarot decks are going to come out. And honestly, there are some that I am not a fan of. There are some tarot decks of, for example, today's artistry that are not my favorite, honestly. There are some that are not my favorite. Like, I'm very traditional. I do love the good painting, the good drawings, you know, the very artistic ones, but I don't like the ones that have people on it. You know, the ones that have people in it, I just cannot connect. You know, the one that has like this very like supermodels, it seems like the cover of a magazine, I just don't like it. Don't like it. I prefer much more the drawings, you know, and the colors. And in this case, these, you know, these, the Hermetic Tarot. The Hermetic Tarot, it's is like the Toss Tarot, but is not of this man. How was it called? This man, Aleister Crowley. It's not. This is more like is, I believe it's based on the Golden Dawn, and I think it has nothing to do with Aleister Crowley, which is the creator of Toss, of the Toss Tarot. But yes, it has a lot of sorry, I think that this woman was naked. It has a lot of like alchemy and a lot of also, you know, symbolism, astrology in here, you see, and it's very complex. It's very, you know, you definitely have to have like an advanced knowledge of the tarot to read this. But, and it does have a keyword here. For example, this would be, there's a change also in the like on the court cards, you know, definitely you have I believe you have princess, prince, you have knight and queen. I think that there's no king in here, but no, yes, there's king. But there's a change. There's, I don't know if there's an extra character, but it's complex. I don't remember exactly right now. But yes, usually the DOS related or the hermetic ones have a change in the court cards. So this is, for example, you have here that is the King of Cups. And down here you have the word that it says, Prince of the Chariot of Waters. So, you know, it's very interesting. here you have, for example, the Four of Swords, the hiatus card, and you have Lord of the Rest from Strife. So Six of Swords is Lord of Earned Success. And here you have Mercury in Aquarius. You know, you have the astrological association. And you know that usually in a Rider-Waite tarot, we see the person going on a boat, going away or going on a trip. And in here, we only have the swords, and it says Lord of the Earned Success. So, you know, it's very different. It's not the typical, you know, here we have the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the description here that says Lord of the Wild and Fertile Land, you know. And this is very important, actually, because, and here comes the astrology part, of course. They have, you know, because whenever we see a knight, for example, a Knight of Pentacles, we associate Pentacles to Earth element. For example, if I see the Knight of Pentacles, I could be like, oh, guys, I think that this person is, it seems like this person could represent an Earth sign, you know. But in here, things get complex. Because we start with these three symbols here. I don't know if you can see it. We have the Leo symbol, Virgo, and Virgo. But the one that starts is Leo. So I don't know if these three are like the sun, the moon, and the rising, but definitely for characters, you have these three symbols here. That's why this is called Lord of the Wild and Fertile Land. Because this is not just about fertility, you know, earth influence. Because it starts with Leo, it tells you that it has the wild attribute. So this person could be, this Knight of Pentacles is not the whole representation of the earth element. It has, for example, it has an attribute of fire. It's fire and earth. So when you study the chord, it's not, it has other elements. It's like going one step further. Instead of you associating this with an earth sign, this tarot deck is like going a step ahead, you know, in the sense that it's like, what about if we start like associating the people, the characters, we start associating them with their big three. For example, their sun, their moon, and their ascendant, or their rising. So when you have to describe this person, you're not going to be like, oh, okay, because, you know, this knight is like taking his time, he's on his way, but he's very practical, you know, so he's taking his time to get there. But no, because they're telling you that this is Lord of the Wild, it says. Lord of the Wild. There's a wild element in this Knight of Pentacles. He is wild, and also he's fertile. He's Lord of the Wild, of the fertile land. So yeah, he can have some earth elements in there, some stability, but also he's wild. He has the Leo attribute. So this sort of knight is going to be a bit more daring, you know, and a bit more like wild, yes. So this is why when we study the core cards, it's not simply as saying like, okay, for example, in here we have the hangman. And I think that this only comes with the core cards. But when we have, for example, we have this major arcana, the hangman. And we have all the symbolism. We have the water, we have Neptune, you know, there's a lot, There's a lot to go through. But in this card, what it says down here is a spirit of the mighty waters. So again, it talks about, the water element. This is why this card is related to Pisces somehow, because it's about, that mighty water when we go inwards. When we go inwards, when we connect with our spirituality, with our mysticism, sometimes we are like this. We are in a crossroad. No, this is not based on the toast tarot. Like, actually, it does have similarities, yes, but this is the Hermit tarot. It's more based on the. It says, based upon the esoteric workings of the secret order of the Golden Dawn. So yes, it does have like hermetic attributes, like esoteric attributes, but it's not related to Aleister Crowley. The Toast Tarot is Aleister Crowley work. In this case, it's more about the Golden Dawn. And we know that I think that he was in the Golden Dawn for a period, but there are some people that just don't want to associate him with this deck because I don't know what I think that maybe something happened between him and the Golden Dawn, but yeah, I don't know about that. Definitely, yes, it's very similar because when I studied the Toast Tarot, actually they were talking about decks, and I mentioned this one, and the professor he had this one, and he was like, yes, if you want to get it, if you can get it, actually it's a great way to learn with it. And I think that for me, honestly, this is my first. No, this is not my first deck, black and white deck. I have a pocket size of one that is all black, and it has like white figures. But in this case, look at this beauty. Like, for me, honestly, guys, for me, since this has so many symbolisms, I don't know if you can get it. You see the sun in Aries. You see the goat. It's not the goat, is it the sheep? Do you see the fire? Do you see there's a lot of things a lot of details that probably if I would use a deck that is colored, I would miss a lot. But since this is black and white, it allows me to get really into the meanings. The drawing, yes. The Thank you, Spirit. Yes, and here this is the Three of Wands. It's called Lord of the Established Strengths. So see, this is established already, the Three of Wands. It says Lord of the Established Strengths. The strength is established. It's not like the energy of the two. But I think that, look, here we have, and from what I can remember, I don't know if this is because I had a master class about those 2 years ago, but I think that from what I can remember, I believe that a sign, for example, we were talking about Aries, and I think that Aries is going to come out in 3 different cards. Like, it's not like one card represents Aries. I believe that if we start, I have to look at the Ace of Wands and the Two of Wands. If the two of them have Aries placements, is because, it seems like it goes free with each sign. 3 cards each sign. So that's why it's very complex, it's not just saying, oh, this card reminds me of Aries energy, like individually. No. There's a lot of and for people like me that we adore astrology, this is the best. It's the best that could happen, because that there's not much people that do it like I do. I mix astrology with tarot. I usually have been doing this for years. I have been doing this in Spanish with my clients in person. And they always found it very interesting, how I mix both things. Because for me, it's not like, okay, let's talk about your birth chart. No, it's like I want to know your big three because I want to associate it. First, I want to get comfortable with who you are, because you could be an Aries, but yes, there's a lot of Aries out there. So I want to get very close to your energy. And because of that information, then I want to read with you. I want to read you with this astrology, in mind. So I think that it's a great exercise. This is why whenever I read for idols, I try to be like, oh, I remember his sun sign was this, or his rising was this, not to go all the way into astrology, because like I always tell you guys, I'm no expert in astrology. Astrology has a lot of different systems. It has the birth charts. To read in analyze the birth charts is so complex that, I mean, you have to, astrology is something that you have to go like inwards, and you have to dedicate to study it. It's not that you do astrology and you do tarot and you do Reiki and you do the whole thing. The real professional astrologers base their whole studies into astrology. They are astrologers. They are not something else. The astrology is their tool, is their element, and it's their work sometimes. Because it's very complex, and every time there's something new to learn, there's something new to discover. So, and even when you see or analyze a birth chart, sometimes for example, I notice this when I get like a birth chart analysis. They usually focus a lot on, the first house, the second house, the third house, Sometimes if I ask them, we talk a bit about the midheaven and the 10th house, that I have my moon in there and Pluto in there. But they usually, because it's there's so many associations and so many information, they usually sometimes stick to the big three, because if we have to go deeper, you would have to get many appointments with them. It's not like you get a birth chart analysis and they are going to, tell you everything about the chart. That's why some people ask about Chiron, some people ask about Lilith, some people ask about the asteroids. And I'm like, we still haven't touched the other planets. So I think we should stay with the planets and not go with the asteroids so much. Because the asteroid is, again, another branch of the whole tree. So I think that honestly, like in tarot, the same, guys. Tarot, the same. Tarot is not the same as an oracle. Is not the same. This is something that is like I'm not against people that read oracles. Like I have, like you can use it whatever you want to, but an oracle is a very straightforward message for the now. For example, you pull one card and it says, "Oh, believe and succeed." Okay, let's expand on this. But the tarot is a whole meaning. It's a deeper meaning and understanding of the situation. It's complex. A tarot card has a lot of information, and and the associations of the tarot, it's different. It's you cannot compare both. You can work with both of them, but you cannot compare both. For example, now that we're talking about it, the other that I got is this. That is beautiful. That is the Psychic Tarot for the Heart. This is more like a romantic relationships kind of oracle tarot. And I'm going to use this because there were some people that were asking me for romance or relationship readings, personal readings. So I'm going to be using this next week to launch some romantic readings with this. But for example, this is called, and here you said the psychic tarot for the heart. And then down here you have that it says Oracle deck. So this is what is confusing, because it has 65 cards. And some of them can represent the major arcana and some of them represent the minor arcana. And then you have some chakra cards also. But this is an oracle. And it's tricky because here it says psychic tarot for the heart. And it has a lot of, because usually an oracle has 30 cards, 40 cards, And here we have 65. So people sometimes can be like, oh, this is a tarot deck because it says tarot here. And also it has a lot of cards. It has more than 50. So it's a tarot. And also the system talks about the pentacles. I believe that this is the reddish color. It represents pentacles. This green, it represents cups. This, do you see? You have the base chakra. Here you have the indigo. I believe it represents fire, I guess. And the black one also represents the major arcana. So see in here, for example, this one, we have the word manifest. And this would be like the magician, the representation of the magician. Hello, Rim. So the astrological association in the deck are not the same as ones are as the toss. Yeah, I believe they are. I believe they are a bit. I mean, from what I learned about this, about those, I'm seeing it here. So I definitely think that it's very based. It has something in common. It's just that I don't know why people want to separate these two. There must be a reason why they separate them. But honestly, yes, it is very similar to the toss, according to, what I'm sensing from the astrological associations and what I learned back then. Yeah, that's why the best is to do the research yourself, even if having a reading is interesting. Astrologists are giving way too much importance. Astrology can be technical, but tarot really makes us connect to our intuition. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like comparing reading a book and listening to music. Two two different things, but both are valuable. I agree so much. My mom doesn't even believe in tarot because it's not a precise calculation, but I'm of the opinion that sometimes we should also rely on our intuition. Yes, Reem, welcome back. It's been a while, yes. Yes, to be honest, I struggled too at the beginning with tarot. I was interested, but I had my reservation with astrology. But tarot proved itself with time. Yeah. And honestly, like, because this is the thing with tarot, the Rider-Waite system, the TOS system, the Marseille system, they all have like a symbolism to study. They all have a very deep symbolism to study. And you can look at the card and be like, oh, yesterday I thought it meant this. Now I'm seeing something different. In an oracle, it's different because you have a keyword and an image. So the keyword and an image. So you somehow have to make, and it's not the same. It's not the same, guys. It's not the same. For example, let's see. This Knight of Swords. This is the Knight of Swords. And here it says, Lord of the winds and breezes. So yes, very windy, very, very windy. But also we have here I don't know if you notice this. Oh, you cannot see. Well, here there are 3 signs, zodiac signs. The order is like this: Taurus, Gemini, Gemini. So it would be like Taurus Sun, Moon in Gemini, Gemini rising. So see, this is why when you see this card, when you see this knight, it's not like, oh, this is a typical air sign, and also, because it says Lord of the Winds and Breezes, so it's very air, it's air sign, it's air sign energy, it's the wind, but no. And here it's telling you that this guy, this person possesses Taurus Sun. So see why it's complex? It's not just the typical. It's amazing, guys. It's amazing. It's amazing. Really, I like. But it's complex to put it into words. I attended so many classes of the TOS tarot, the TOS system. And I remember the professor, the guy, the tarot reader that actually he was the only one in Latin America that is certified to give these classes of TOS, of the TOS tarot system. So, it was a very beautiful occasion for me. I learned so much. But it talks about alchemy, and the different symbolisms, the Kabbalah. There's a lot of symbolisms in one card. A lot of symbolisms in one card. There's a lot of Jewish also symbolism that you have to learn also. You have to learn about Kabbalah. So it's not just grabbing a tarot deck and be like, oh, I see 2 people bonding here. So yes, there's a love connection for you. It's deeper. It's deeper. This is why I think, honestly, that I'm going to have this to read for myself. And also probably I'm going to use it if someone requests a reading for it, because I think that this one goes very deep. It goes very deep, so I don't want to like scare people. Oh, that's okay, Rim. Yes, of course. You take care of your businesses in your life, please. Yes, every card represents a situation, so it's like all possible outcomes of aspects um, of life are represented in all tarot cards. It's very deep. Plus, confession time, I haven't been in K-pop for a while. I took a huge step back from it. Nothing interests me anymore. Plus, got too boring and toxic that I had to stop. Oh, yeah, that's also very, very brave and very intelligent, Rim. Yeah, for you to, we had been going through a lot of drama, honestly, from K-pop. There have been very dramatic, and honestly, the news that would come out, it would look very superficial, you know, and also the news also would be like, it would include fan wars and all these things that you're like, why am I paying attention to this? It's like, I understand, I understand. I blame all the charlatans for people not believing in tarot and astrology. Maybe not everyone is a fraud, but some people are just not very good at it, just like any other skill. It's just that the tarot, um, it um, it also gives you a huge it's like a white canvas, and you can somehow like draw what your personal interpretation of it. And some people honestly are too artistic. Like they do come up with the random interpretations, you know, about certain things. So honestly, I know that probably are I know people because I have friends that are like mediums, and friends that they just use the cards to channel something, but honestly the wisdom is inside themselves, but they use the tarot to somehow put a material tool in it. You know, it can be tarot, it can be astrology, it can be, I don't know, the runes, for example. But they have it in them, you know, the intuition, the knowledge is in them. They are the one channeling it, you know, and I have huge admiration for that. But then there are people that are just like making up stories, and it is like, where did you get those? You know, when you put these two cards together, where did you get that association? Because I'm not seeing it, you know. I still listen to the music, of course, on my playlist, but haven't engaged in the community and not look things up that much. Oh, that's okay. Yes, but I think it's more the image that people have of them. Not saying they are charlatans, but I say most astrologers and tarot readers are serious about the practice. Yeah, but there are some that honestly, when I started seeing this on TikTok, the tarot reading lives, and I saw so many individuals like it was awful, guys. It was awful. It was awful. And you know, and people are just consuming that like you know, like a poker game, you know, and I think that that's so, you know, people often ask me like, why don't you join TikTok and do TikTok lives and read for people on TikTok live? And you know how I feel about this. For me, tarot reading, especially if it's a personal tarot reading, it's a special moment between the energy of who is asking and me. So unless they give me their permission to read on a live, but I want this to be sacred. I want this moment to be intimate. Like I don't want everyone to be hearing what I have to say or answer to the person. You know, I think that it gets toxic very fast. And you know there's a whole like work and atmosphere um, that you have to build. There's a connection. There's a lot of things that is the same as if I was, I don't know, if I was only boss, or if I was like working at a company, I don't know, at the shop, and I will be shuffling and reading cards while everyone is around me. You know, it's not, unless it's an emergency tarot carpool, well, I can do it, but you cannot expect me to read on that occasion just like that, you know, just pull cards and like this. For me, it takes a while, and also it's because I respect the people that is asking, and also I respect myself. You know, I'm not here to entertain people with, let me tell you your future. You know, that's not how we engage with the tarot nowadays. We had evolved somehow. We are no longer, you know, these storytellers. You know, that's why whenever I see too much storytelling, you know, in a tarot reading, I'm like, okay, okay, you know, I'm just like, no, and the copy paste. The other day I was going through Twitter, and I noticed that there's someone that's like, how do you call it when they put it in paragraphs what I said on the reading? They have a channel. Yes, after the SM, I just got my last bit of care into business side of furniture side. I just look forward to my favorite releases. Yes, I believe it's the more. Hey, Diana. I believe that it's the most healthiest decision that you could have made. Yeah, TikTok is just too shallow for these practices. Yes, and everything goes too fast, you know, and it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Nah. And I mean, there are some people that are amazing readers in there. I'm not saying that, but there are others that, you know, it's funny because they set the mood as if this was like, there's a lot of candles, you know, and a lot of, you know, dark colors and you know, like everything very mystic. And I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, sometimes I read my friends' palm lines for fun and practice, but I would not claim that I'm an expert on palmistry because I'm still learning. I wouldn't do without that disclaimer. You know, I want to know the part of this one, the reading of this one. You cannot see it here, actually, Spirit. But you know that here, I believe it's supposed to say like how many marriages you're going to have or something like that, the part in here. But honestly, I don't believe it because I never remarried. And tarot and astrology are trendy now. Yeah, that's what I noticed. That's why there's so many, like, tarot decks releases, you know, because it's so trendy. You know, when I had, you know, when I had my first Marsella or my first rather white, I remember I used to keep it in a drawer in you know, between my things in my bedroom, and I would hit it, you know, and like, because it was like, oh, you have a tarot deck, you know. It was very like this. It was like a very like hidden kind of practice, you know, and secret, you know. It was like that. I remember when I had it, it was like that. It was like that because people would associate a lot with you reading tarot, and that was my issue. And I had people asking me about this. You know, I had a female once. She here in Argentina. She had a tarot reading with me. When we talked, she also gave me her feedback about what she was going through at that moment, and she was so resentful at her ex-husband, I believe. And she was really struggling, and all of a sudden she started asking me if I do love spells. And I was like, no, I don't do those things. I only read tarot. I don't I don't do those. I don't believe in those. You know, so especially here in Latin America, since there's a lot of superstitions and stuff, there's also this about, like magic and tarot, and no, no, guys. Actually, my mom, she used to believe that I have like healing powers. I don't know why, but she was like, "Oh, you have the power to heal people with your hands." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I don't know if that's true or not, but accordingly to her, I used to make her feel better. So, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, apparently it's called marriage lines. But marriage doesn't have to be a contract, could be a long-term relationships. I have to send you then the picture. Will you tell me where I point and I will send you my palm. Which one do you read, Spirit? Do you read the left one or the right one? I'm left-handed. I know that the both of them, if you put them together, they are the continuation of the other. I know that. But which one do you read? You've not seen those lectures yet. I think those lines are of love and relationships. Ah, okay, Ali. Yes, I thought so too, but I don't know. I was need to update astrology to modern times. We ain't getting married. I gotta check them out then. Yeah, unfortunately his channel got deleted. Yes, but he was very right about. I love his interpretations. Yes. Yes, me too. Ah, okay, okay. Well, but anyways, it's fun to know that somehow you know a bit of. I like that you're grounded with your practice. Really, people can have some unseen powers or ability too. Maybe it's just a strong intuition. I prefer when you remain grounded. Yeah, I think that honestly, I think that sometimes people confuse intuition with being very observant. When you are someone that, for example, in my case, that since I always been an only child, and I always been surrounded by grown-ups, I had this ability to observe what was going on around me, even though no one told me like you should pay attention. But somehow like I noticed that there was some dynamics in my house, or there's some dynamics in certain relationships. So I was like, oh, I don't like that, or I don't want to be like that. I had the possibility to be a spectator of my family dynamic, for example, and being like, oh, I don't want to be like that. Like I used to take like wisdom and appreciation of certain females in my family, but then also like now I understand them better. I understand their motives, why they were the way they were. But I think that I always try to understand, the reason behind some decisions, and why so many of them were suffering. I was also very intrigued by that. Like, why did you choose this life? Like, and of course sometimes we females, we don't choose things, especially in the old times. Women didn't have the opportunity to choose. That's why for me now, almost being 40, like I realized that for me it's important to break the family legacy, or the family blinded loyalty to certain things that no longer represent me. Like I don't want, like I want freedom, I want freedom. I want to feel safe in a bond, in a relationship. I also want to be a good partner, a provider, but I don't want to be the mother of my special someone, like, and that's also something that, for example, when you're in a long-term relationship, everyone expects you to get married and have children and follow these these things that maybe you are like, I like the person, we are doing great, but I don't know if marriage is, the final destination. Oh, the hand, apparently you're supposed to read the left hand for women anyway. Ah, okay. They were very good interpretations, and he never went into love and marriage. Yeah, I love the one that he did of Utah. I totally agree. Like, he definitely nailed it. He nailed it. I was like, that guy, and the way he delivered the interpretation, he was also very authentic. But what happened how was it his name, Woojin? What happened? What did he say so bad that he got his channel cancelled? Yes, but it's on Twitter. There's psychologist account holistic. Oh yes. Wait, I'm going to write down the name. Wait. Oh. I actually I started the course of family and couples therapy, couples counseling, and it's doing very well. I like it. I like it. I'm liking it. The way, the things I'm learning. You started using his reading as proof. Oh, no. Oh my God. I can share some of the phrase on Discord. Uh-huh. Oh, oh, oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Fluffy. Thank you. Yeah, there was. I bet there was a lot going on. Yeah, yeah. You know how, and it's true, and it's true. What you say, Ring. They usually share one brain cell, and if one of them says, "Let's attack this," let's attack this. It's yeah. I remember watching very vividly because he was merciless. Like, he didn't care at all. Something about he won't ever release his mistakes, realize his mistake even after many wake-up calls. Yeah, I mean, like, he's a double Aries, so like I think I said this um, when I first started my lives, one of the first lives. We discussed this. I said that for me, accordingly to my interpretation, for me, the fire signs in the K-pop industry are always going to be the ones that are going to have scandals, and are going to be called out about something. Because Yeah, we have Leo, for example, that we are like, okay, Leo was born to be a star, was born to be on the stage. But, you know, for a fire sun sign, I'm not talking about the moons because I think that honestly, that's why we have so many Leo moons in the industry, and they do their best and they definitely shine so much on stage. But probably they have a sun sign that is an earth sign, so it supports the whole passionate thing. But if you have fire signs, for me in the K-pop industry, with all these limitations and all these rules to follow, eventually there's going to be a member, very likely a fire sign, that is going to say something that people are like, oh, you are being too individualistic here, or you are being selfish, or you are being too much, or you are not like the others. You know, the others are here quiet in the corner. Why are you being so loud? Why are you making so much noise? Why are you being so angry? Like, where are your manners? You know, and I think that honestly, for a fire sign, what their highest tribute, one of their most prominent tributes, is authenticity. And do we have authenticity in K-pop? No, we don't. So, you know, it was less of a K-pop stan thing and more of 2020 thing where everyone worked chronically online. Yeah. Yeah, but now everyone is chronically online in a way. I had just gotten into K-pop in the pandemic. It's both, I guess. It was deadly combo at the time. Yeah, recently the boys were invited on a show and they were saying what was most challenging for them when they started. Sonu said for him it was authority. Yeah, because he's the Aries of the group. And he's a Korean guy, so he knows the whole protocol. He knows the whole protocol of the industry, of how you have to behave, or the rules, you know. He knows it, but he's an Aries. And Aries are going to stand out, are going to be loud, are going to have a moment in their exposure where they can, you know, all of a sudden go crazy on camera, or just be extremely honest on camera, or just like, you know, have very strong opinion about something, you know, and people be like, oh, you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't be like that, you cannot stare at people like that, you know. It's not the same as the Scorpios in the industry. For example, the Scorpio, the Scorpio idols have their moments where you definitely can see in their faces that they are not interested at all in being there. But they have the intelligence, or probably the self-control, the enough self-control of doing a poker face. And if you got it wrong, and if you're like, oh, I think that you were being disrespectful in there, they would question you. They would throw it back at you. They would be like, you think so? Oh, I think that that's your opinion. Because that's not how I saw it. I didn't say anything. You know, the Scorpio with their very reserved nature, and also with the silence, that is very important. You know, sometimes when you know when to hush, it's very important for an idol. You know, to be like, you know, this conversation is getting a bit weird. I better hush. You know, and for a fire sign to hush is not. That's why the Sagittarius of the group, the Sagittarius moon, the Sagittarius sun, they often say very controversial things and opinions about people. In a joke, in a very, for them it's funny. It's the way they are. Sagittarius is always making jokes. It's always, you know, like making a joke out of something very deep. I know, but it's not that they do it intentionally to hurt you. It's the way they are, you know. It's how they cope with life. And here there are people like, oh no, because he said this to this member, and he said that, and she said this to the other member. So it's like, guys, you're not getting anything. Just, you know what you can do? When you have this new group and you realize that you have a fire sign among them, just fire them. Just don't sign a contract with them. Just leave the fire signs out of the picture. So maybe like that you would be a bit safe, and you would be like, okay, like they are not going to cause trouble anymore, because they are not going to be controversial anymore. But at the same time, it's like, okay, yes, if you leave out the fire sign, who do you have? The air signs. You have the earth signs that are so boring. You have the water signs that are too emotional. So you need the fire signs. You need the fire signs. Because the fire sign is the one that is like, okay, yes, I don't like to do this, or I also have my doubts about this, but let's go, let's do this. And yes, we're tired, but let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's overcome this. We are fighters. We are relentless. We are competitive. We are passionate. And we always get what we want. But the other signs, they need that excitement. You need that excitement. And also the competition. You need the competition. Having to follow rules and his Aries Sun Leo moon. Yeah. But anyone remember Bad Chance reading Banchan? Wow, he's really in Banchan. I was with him. He could sense that man's attraction to women, both from him and them for sure. Oh, really? Most of the YG artists are fire sign. Irene is Aries Sun indeed. She was always honest about how she felt and her face and behaviors. Me and Sagittarius life in general. I don't do well with authority. No, you don't. You don't. You are going to try to somehow sabotage the authority. Being funny and like, oh, yeah, everything is okay, but it's not okay. And it's the way I am that I might whoop some. Pick only Capricorn. No, it's going to be so boring. Fire signs gonna go broken and unemployed. Water signs are traumatized, gonna quit within. Can you imagine the water signs? The water signs being in hiatus all year because of their stress. Oh, but some idols are earth sign and moon, but I can get the fire rising because of their behaviors. Yeah. Fire signs that choose as emotion, they just take more action and lack of second guessing. Exactly, we need someone that doesn't have a second guessing, because if you have to wait for an earth sign to decide, the ambiguity of an air element that they don't know, like, what do you think? What do you think about this? What is your opinion about this? What can we do about this? A lot of conversations and not many things get done. But more seriously, it could be other placements, or just that they have their sun or the MC or something. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think that, I don't know why I always think that, if they're going to criticize someone, the netizens criticize everyone. But I think that probably some action that is going to be like undeniable that happened, or that was what they said, and it was misunderstood, is going to be a fire sign. Definitely. And the funny thing is that they expect a fire sign to apologize, but they don't apologize to anyone. They're just being themselves. But you know what? The great thing about the fire signs for me is that they don't hold grudges. They can be very angry at you, but then they are over it. You know, they don't hold grudges. So I think that, yes, they can be very aggressive in the moment that they are feeling the emotion, but then they let it go. Then they let it go. You know, it's not like a Scorpio that I will be like, oh my God, you're going to harm me forever, right? I'm never going to be able to trust you. Like, you're going to wait for a moment, for another moment to remind me that I betrayed you. I mean, I never went through that because I actually have a lot of best friends that are Scorpio, but I imagine that if I was their enemy, like, he also said, I'm sorry guys, a Strike's Hyunchin is very good at pleasing his partner. Do not say the actual word. Well, he's a Pisces. I believe that all the Pisces have the ability to be, you know, very pleasing, very pleasing, very pleasing, you know. The thing with them is the confusion that they leave you afterwards. It's like, okay, yeah, it was magical, it was amazing, but then I don't know you. Like, I'm gone. So yeah. Oh my. He said the actual. Oh my God. Okay, guys, let's begin with the readings. I was like, I'm going to start with this group, Drippin. Why is it so funny for me to say Drippin? I probably don't even know what Drippin is, but I don't know. It sounds like an adjective, you know, not an adjective. Drippin. Okay, they got Princess of Swords. Let's start already with the naked people. Eight of Wands. Dripping our Infinite Junior group, and I can only say I didn't feel sorry. No, they are in William. 10 of Wands. They are already oppressed. They are already oppressed. And they haven't even started. And they are already oppressed. And then we have Queen of Cups. And I'm going to pull an extra card from this oracle. I mean, the guys are very motivated. Like, they are very motivated. They are very, it's just that I think that in their motivation, they are rushing. You know, they are like, their energy is like too much. And they got the crown chakra. That is about following their intuition. Honestly, I think that these guys are very intelligent. They definitely adapt very quick. They are quick learners. You know, they They are very sharp, but also they have their attitude. This is not like lost innocent children. They actually have their opinions. They have their ideas. They are not here like actually they can be very very opinionated also. With the Eight of Wands, also there's like a need to make their success faster. So I don't know if they were like introduced to the industry very fast, but there seems to be like this rush, that I have to communicate this, I have to get this new group out there, I have to throw them, to the public so they can consume it. And also the promise that this is something different, that this is something that you've never seen before, that these guys, are they, could it be that is like a rap group, that there's a lot of rappers, or is there rap in the style of their songs? Do you know, guys? Because since they are represented by the Princess of Swords, I sense a lot of words coming out of their minds, and a lot of rushed behavior. It seems like they are in a rush. And there's a lot of a lot of passion, but at the same time, there's a lot of impulsivity. It's like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. And it's like you let them running wild, you expose them like that, you throw them like that. But at the same time, then we have the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is like, wait. The Ten of Wands is like, wait. There are rules to follow. There are protocols to follow. You are not that free. You cannot do that. You cannot move here. You cannot. So there's it seems like they release them just like that, and then they throw them back in a box. They are like, you cannot do this. You cannot talk like that. You cannot say that. You cannot behave like that. So they are feeling oppressed already. But they have the Queen of Cups here, so I don't know if maybe this is the fandom. Could this be the fandom? They have this Queen of Wands that is the mix of the elements. Is the mix of Gemini, Cancer, Cancer. A very motherly kind of vibe. Someone actually can set them free from this oppression. A female or a female energy. There's someone also looking at them and being like, these guys are too oppressed. Don't push them so hard. This is why I can engage with bullying great. I don't want more trauma. Infinity is enough. If someone has money, they can get their what? Well, I mean, most every 4gen group is trying to be NCT these days. So yeah, rap must be there. Oh my God. Okay. I want to see who this Queen of Cups is. And also the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, is the chakra of the thought. The thought, the mind. So definitely there's they have to think. They have to think, concentrate on a way out, somehow. See, yes, this Queen of Cups brings justice. We have the Justice card. I pull it to clarify the Queen of Cups. So this female, actually, it could be the fandom. That is very motherly, it's already trying to protect them. It's looking at this, and it's you are you are going too far with these kids. With I'm sorry, I say kids. Maybe they are young guys. I don't know, but I think that they are seen very clear. And also, I see that if this is a female or a group of females, probably these people are very emotionally attached to them, and also they are very emotional, and they sort of remind me of army placement. You know that army is a double Cancer, and in here this Queen of Cups is like a Gemini with Cancer sun, no, Cancer moon, and Cancer rising. So very intelligent, but at the same time very emotionally. So she's like, I'm seeing what you're doing here. And also someone that has probably, like you said, spirit, maybe because of the Cancer placements in here, maybe this Queen of Cups, if it's the fandom, maybe among the fandom, there's some in spirit in there. There's some infinite fans in there, because somehow they carry the memory of what happened in the past. They carry the experience of the past. So for them, it's like, I know what you're doing. It's very similar to what you did in the past. You are oppressing these children. I don't know why I want to say these children, but okay. If they are grown-ups, I'm sorry, but I see it like this. And they want to bring justice. So definitely they are going to find balance. Yes, they are going to get a bit more organized thanks to this female energy here, this motherly, protective, and also very honest, and this sort of like female energy that is not like, oh, because I feel. No, I'm also very intelligent, and I see all your tactics here. Like, I'm seeing it. Like, I'm no fool. You are not fooling me here. And for them, it's like a flashback. It's like a deja vu of what happened in the past. So there could be some infinite fans in here, also like supporting this new group, and then feeling like a sort of deja vu of what happened in the past. So they are like interfering. They are like, okay, like, come on, like, we know you. We know you know, your we know what you're about, William. We know it. We know it. You have done it for so many years. So yeah, I think they're going to introduce a change. Yes. I actually get angry with Drippin because they've been marketing this one member as the next Myungsoo. Oh no, but of course it's not their fault, so I wish them the best. I agree with you because most of their fans are also the spirit, and I do think they're scared by members' experience. And yes, the members are really young, so I also call them kids. It's always been a pain supporting smaller temporary groups. Also, William is trash. Yeah, yeah. They were in such a hurry to introduce these guys. They were like, okay, we're ready, let's go. And the guys, because they are so excited, and also they are competitive. They are like, yes, we are ready, we're ready. But then they see the whole responsibility that is thrown on them, and they are like, oh my God, like, I didn't know we had so many rules. I thought this was supposed to be fun or more fun. So yeah, fame is not going to be easy, but I'm glad that I pulled the extra card that is the card of justice. That definitely I see that something is going to is going to change, for the better for this. And also, this card, the card of the crown chakra, the card of the thought, the idea, is also, it has a phrase, and the phrase is, I know. So I think that it does make sense with this Queen of Cups bringing justice, and being like, I know. It sounds like the movie I Know What You Did Like Summer, something like that. It's like, because of experience, I know what you're capable of doing. I know what you're doing to these kids. I know what you're doing. So stop. Like, do better. Do better this time, because I'm watching you. Here, in this case, there's no there's no like exaggeration. Actually, the fans are right. They know that there's something going on. Do you have someone else that you want me to pull cards for, guys? Okay, Minhyuk, Queen of Wands. Yes, sure. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands for Minhyuk. Is she thinking about money? I mean, this Queen of Wands, she got 6 of Pentacles, the High Priestess. So this is a woman that she's going to be in the Judgment. That in here is called the Last Judgment. And then from the Oracle, she got the card of a well-deserved reward. Can I be honest here? Like, honestly, I think that she is very... Could it be that she's very materialistic? Because she got the 6 of Pentacles, you know, that is the Lord of material success. So I'm thinking like, oh, you really are like, I mean, a relationship could be a sort of association, you know, but I think that definitely there's growth, there's expansion in the relationship, but also, you know, she got the card of the 9, that it would be like the 9 of Pentacles, well-deserved reward. So definitely she's like, she maybe is thinking about the material aspect of the relationship, where she's like, okay, I'm going to wait for him, like, because he's a catch. You know, there's something about him being a catch in the material sense. Like, I think that I don't see much feeling. I mean, like, I don't know her, but I think that probably he does make her feel secure, or he does give her some structure. So she's like, okay, like, I feel like if I'm patient here, or if I am stubborn here and I don't lose hope, at the end, I'm going to get a reward. You know, a reward is to be on the top, you know. Yeah, so I think that, you know, she's like, he's a catch. You know, she's like thinking about him like in a source of attributes, you know, of him like, he's a potential future husband, something like that. She's like, I don't think she's a gold digger because she has the High Priestess. So definitely this is a female that she's very intuitive in her own expression. And the good thing, I think that the good thing about her is that she's taking her time to go inwards and to think about the relationship, and to think about, how does she feel that, he is doing his duty and everything. But she's like also taking the time to focus on herself, on how she's feeling about this, and how she's doing like internally, you know. Definitely she's like very she's I wouldn't say like intuitive, but she's like very reserved, and I think that this also, that she's okay with being by herself. She doesn't need him to rescue her. Actually, she's taking this time to focus on herself and what's going on with her inner world. And here with the judgment, yeah, I mean, the relationship could go through some things. There could have moments where they have these very silly discussions, especially, I can totally see it. See, not Minhyuk. It's a very talkative person. Maybe through messages or everything. He could make things difficult for her. Because probably, I don't know. Like I told you about the fans. About bombarding them with a lot of messages or expecting them to call them right away, and being a bit like, too much over the phone, and I think that for her, she's like going inwards. She's like connecting with herself. She probably doesn't want to talk that much. She is a bit like, she's a bit more on the reflection side, so probably she wants to be left alone, and she I think that she's like, okay, like I want to take things slow now that you are far away, or that you are absent for some moments. But I think that also here with the judgment, there could be some, some interruptions or some discussions. But at the end, I think that if she's patient, she's going to get him. She's going to get a good guy, a great guy. But I think that probably, she's very patient and everything, but he is the one that is a bit like you never know with Minhyuk what you're going to get. If he's in a good mood, he's going to be very nice, and then if he's not feeling very satisfied, he can make things difficult for his partner, in an emotional sense. Like he can be too much, So, yeah, she definitely has to pass the test. But if she passed the test, he's a very good partner. About that love bombing, by the way, fans sent so many letters to them because they had to stop taking them. She wants a stable and secure guy, though. I kind of don't recommend a Gemini moon. Yeah, because he gets he gets too much in his head. He gets also very paranoid, and also I think that there's something about her because the Six of Pentacles is represented by the Queen. The Queen is represented by the Moon in Taurus. So I definitely can see a female that, yes, she is very interested, in luxuries and living well, but also that in her emotional world, maybe she's a bit slow, or she's a bit too calm on the outside, and she's like very patient and just very tranquil. And he's a whole different person. He's like, he's a roller coaster of emotions. He's very fiery. So and her, she's like very stable and very, yes, she's loving, but she's like very patient, and she takes a while. And for him it's like, no, I want to provoke you because I want to feel, I want something out of you. I want a response out of you. I want something. I want drama somehow. And she's like, very, very stubbornly been there, and probably ignoring him. So he's like going crazy. And probably she's working, so she's busy. Let the girl be. Let that girl be. Probably she's working. She's busy. I'm going to pull a card for you from the Oracle ring. Rim, you got the card of embrace. Embrace it in the major arcana, it would be representation of the wall card. So definitely here what it's telling you is that you should embrace embrace what is around you. That definitely you have many blessings around you that that you have to be open to receive it, and that there's probably a lot of growth and there's a lot of potential for you. There's a lot of opportunities, but you need to open to receive it. That actually you probably are more lucky than you think you are. And you have to embrace it. You have to be open. You have to be ready to see it. Acknowledge the blessings in your life. Acknowledge that, that actually if you are not seeing it, connect with seeing it, see the potential. Embrace the opportunities that are presenting now. Embrace everything. Embrace the whole experience, the whole experience, because everything is teaching you something. So definitely you are in a very key point, it's a very important moment for you to connect with what you want to receive. I think that somehow, I don't know if maybe what you want to receive is so specific, or you're like, okay, if this doesn't happen, I don't want it. You have your own vision of what is happiness, for example, or what would make you happy. But here with the embrace card, it's you have to embrace everything. Not only the beautiful parts or the funny parts or the good parts. Embrace the whole experience. Open up to the experience, and also embrace embrace the possibility. Embrace the possibility, because you have the potential to receive a lot of blessings. A lot of blessings, but you have to be able to see the whole picture. You have to be able to see the whole picture, not just have this very focused image or obsessive focus of no, I want that. And if I don't want that, everything sucks. No, you have to see that around you there's a lot of possibilities. There's a whole range of opportunities that you can enjoy from. Yeah, you have to expand it because you're actually missing on something. You're probably missing, um, you're missing an accomplishment, something that you are not seeing it. You are not seeing it. You're not seeing it for what it is. You are like this, and you have to expand, like embrace. And even if some dark moments come and some difficulties come, embrace it anyways. Embrace the whole experience. Don't categorize it. Don't put it in small boxes of this is good, this is bad. No, the whole thing. Everything has like a meaning. And guys, about Joy, I'm not going to pull another card because I already did a reading for her, and she's in hiatus. So I don't want to go like that insistent on her. She's in hiatus. We just have to wait. She's in hiatus. What I read for her, it was what came out. It was what I saw. That's all. That's all. Yeah, I think that actually Rim is telling you that if you open up to embrace the whole experience, that you actually are going to feel much more fulfilled. If you just like open, like accept it, like it comes, accept it. Don't categorize it. Don't try to separate it. Embrace it all. Embrace it all. Don't discriminate a part of it. Oh, because I don't like it, I don't want it. No, 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 everything. Everything. You're going to start like being a bit more like optimistic if you start seeing like the whole experience, the way it presents itself. No, actually, there's no negative cards, Rim. There's no negative cards. It's just that sometimes the cards are very harsh because they are like, okay, you are not seeing this. So I have to call you out because you are not seeing the potential. So when are you going to see it? Like it's like you're making it worse for yourself. You're making it difficult for yourself, and there's no need for you to make it like more difficult. Like you can relax a bit. You can relax a bit, and it's not that, like, actually there's potential. There's potential of growing. There's potential of many blessings, but you have to be like ready to see it, because if you don't see it, then what's the point? What's the point? Yeah, definitely yes. Your Cancer rising is definitely like always a bit suspicious about about the good things, and sometimes yes, it happens. Yes, it happens. It happens. Embrace the Sagittarius, exactly. Embrace the Sagittarius. Sometimes sometimes I'm like, I love Sagittarius. Like, I think that I have Jupiter in the first house, and I hold on so tight to that Jupiter because of all my Capricorn placements. I see this Jupiter in there, and I'm like, I'm holding on really tight to you. And I see the Sun, and I'm holding on really tight to you guys, because actually being a double Capricorn is no fun. But I see the Jupiter in there, and I like, that's my hope. That's my hope in there. I'm going to embrace the Jupiterian, maybe the Lulu kind of vision of like, oh, this is so cool, But I want to have fun at least once in my life, I don't want to get worried about oh, like life is so tough. Oh no, I'm like, no, 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 no. No, me with my Capricorn and Scorpio placements, I don't want to hear. If they tell me that I have to learn about responsibility, structure, and transformation, I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream because that's the only thing they tell me with my placements. And I'm like, I have other placements that maybe they can teach me a bit more of flexibility because I am bored. Like, I don't want to do many homework anymore. I don't want. Yeah, I know, yes. But sometimes it's good to be just a bit clueless, be like, oh, really? There was something serious going on? Oh, I didn't see it there. And that's why we need fire sign peoples. That's why we need fire sign peoples, because sometimes life gets too serious. And honestly, there are moments where you're like, I don't. Yes, being a Capricorn is really hard. It's all about lessons. Oh, life lessons, Saturn lessons, everyone's lessons. And I'm tired. I don't want to learn anything. Embrace your Pisces Venus and my Mars in Pisces. Oh my God. Oh my God. The good thing is that since it's in the third house, it's in the Gemini house, I feel like, like Minhyuk. I feel like Minhyuk and I would make a great couple, because me with my Venus and Mars in the third house and his moon in Gemini, I think that we would be all the day talking about our feelings, and getting very deep and strong, and he would be a great friend. Being a Capricorn moon, I confirm, is kind of hard. Yeah, being a Capricorn moon as well. Being a Capricorn moon is like, oh, I swear, I feel so sorry for Capricorn moon. Sometimes I see them and I'm like, oh my God, you definitely like are so restricted emotionally. You're so restricted. Like, I mean, actually, Capricorn moon and Scorpio moons are very similar in that sense that, yes, we feel so much, but we are not allowed to express it. We have a lot of restrictions, a lot of fears, a lot of, reasons why we don't show it to others, but it's there. So, yeah. As a Sag with such ascendant too, I enjoyed a fun, playful life. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want, Hope. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want a fun life. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired of, it's like, of course, I have to be responsible because I am responsible. I cannot deny it. But I want to have fun. That's why when I see Sagittarius people, um, I'm like, I want to be your friend. Like, please lend me a bit of your energy. But the ones that I do stay away from is the Sagittarius that are too much in their spiritual journey, that they become like yogis and they become like these yoga teachers and these very philosophical, philosophy teachers. Sagittarius are a lot. And I'm like, I'm not interested into you converting me to any kind of dogma or religion. So if we can have fun just talking about, do some jokes, but please do not invite me to any kind of association or cult. I'm not interested. Sungyu is Cap Moon too. You saw in his reading, he's all about making the richest. Yeah. That guy was like, I have to secure my future. I have to secure my future. Otherwise, I will not be happy. Like, like this is part of his emotional need to have the stability of the finances. I think that also is a bit, for someone that has a lot of earth placements, when you tell them, that, oh, you're losing all your possessions and you no longer have this that you thought it was yours, or you no longer have this earning, this that you bought is no longer yours. We take it away from you. And for them, it's really traumatic when you take their possessions away, when you take their stability away, because they are like, what are you doing? There's a piece of me in that possession. So for them it's very traumatic. Like, this is why they get very nervous when they start to feel like they are losing stability. because there's their emotion in there. There's their attachment in there, you know, the fear of losing, the fear of that you take something away from them, that you take the ground that they're walking, you are moving it. And you're like, you know, like there's no ground anymore. There's just like, you know, clouds, bubbles, and a lot of water. And they are like, no, give me back my ground. Give me back my, you know, my grounding. I don't want to walk like this. Like, what are you doing? I want to know where I'm going. I want to know what I'm doing. I want to feel safe. Even there's a lot of like people that have a lot of like earth placements that for them to actually to fly or to do activities like that is not very grounding, they get a bit paranoid about that, and they get like, well, for me for example, I remember when I was really young, I actually fell. I was playing around my friend's pool, and I fell, and I almost drowned in there. They saved me. They took me out of there. But ever since, like I fear going deep in the waters. Like, and I remember I used to know how to swim before that happened, but now I don't remember. And every time I go into water, you know, I have to go to the flat side because I get really like I get very terrified when I have to swim to the deeper side. I cannot do it because it reminds me of when I drowned, you know. Um, and also I remember when I drowned, you know, and this is very moon in Scorpio actually, because you know sometimes when we think about different types of, you know, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces waters, you know, when we think about, I don't know, the Cancer waters, actually the Cancer water, you know, that is it's a place that the water, yes, the water is flowing, but the water is very containing, like it seems like it's wrapping you around them, you know, and it's very clear, but also it's like it's in a small portion. It's like a lake, you know. But then when they have to talk about the representation of the waters of Scorpio, they usually talk about those very dark and very like almost like muddy and kind of dark waters, you know, those very like strong waters that they can sweep you off and they can like almost like swallow you with their strength, and that is very like dark waters. And when you think about Pisces waters, well, you think about the ocean, you know, because what Pisces energy is limitless, you know. It's like it goes everywhere. It's never ending. But I remember when I fell into that pool. I believe it wasn't like summer. It was like I believe we were in autumn. So when I fell in there, because the pool had no protection, so the water was dark. The water was dirty. Like there were a lot of, I remember seeing this very like almost greenish kind of water, like very brown, and there was like these tiny things flying around that, and the water was dirty. That's what I remember when I drowned in there. I remember the water was dirty and was awkward, awful. It was awful. And I think that that's when I was like, oh, this is a very Scorpio moon, Scorpio Pluto kind of experience, because I remember that, because it was so traumatic, but I remember that the water was dark and dirt, and it was awful. That's why I think it was very scary for me, because not only I fell in the deepest side, you know, in the deepest side. So it was hard for me to come out, you know, to swim back out. But also it was very dark. You know, when I fell, it was very dark. You know, it wasn't like I could see, you know, it was crystalline water and I could see that if I continue swimming. And I think that there were some leaves on it and some very like It was awful, awful, guys, awful. It was awful. Like, I can understand his feelings, though his life gets uproot any place he gets settled. His own childhood home or now William spent his whole youth, so I get him. I believe he has Saturn in the 8th house, I think. Oh. I guess you can say I express my woo-woo side, but I'm not trying to change anyone. Oh, well, the mask has been so scary. Yes, still waters from Scorpio. Yeah. It was like, it wasn't like a present. That's why I think I was so traumatized, guys. Because you know that it was very dark. I don't know. And the awful thing, you know, I remember, because this pool, like, this was my neighbor's pool, like, it was next to my home. So I remember that what I was scared the most after they pulled me out of there is going back and telling my mom. Because actually, I remember that before going to my neighbor's house to play, I had a bath, like, like I took a shower and I was wearing these very white shorts, you know, like very clean clothes and everything. And I remember my mom said, like, don't get dirty playing. Like, you know, take care of your clothes. Don't get them dirty. And I was like, I cannot go home because my mom is going to get mad at me. She's going to punish me. Like, she didn't say anything, but I was so scared to see her. I was like, I cannot face my mom. Like, my whole clothes are ruined now. She's going to get mad at me. Oh, I was so, I think that all of that was very like, oh my God, like, why? Interesting how certain experiences relate to our placements in such a symbolic way. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Definitely, yeah. In a very straightforward way. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. That's why I have a huge respect for water. I like it, but I kind of fear it, you know. In drowning, the struggle was immediate, automatic. Once you relax and give in, it is indescribably mist and transcendent, so beautiful and freeing, like flying. I was too young to fear it. Yeah, that's the thing. Exactly, Hope. Like you say, I cannot relax. I had people trying to teach me to swim again, and I cannot relax my body. I cannot give in. I cannot give, I swear, like my body gets all stiff, like I cannot. I have that fear instead in me. I cannot. And I tried, but I guess I could try some more. But yeah. I'm traumatized for fireworks since I was a baby. I wonder how that relates to any of my signs. Yeah, actually, a lot of fire signs do fear the fire, or they have this very traumatic experience with loud noises. You know, and also you are moon in Libra, so you know anything that somehow interrupts the harmony of a place. You know, it can traumatize you. Hello, the priorities. Girl, you're most wrong. Yeah, the priorities. Exactly. I wasn't afraid of dying. I was more afraid of facing my mom and she seeing me like that. Seeing that I ruined the outfit, that I got all dirty. And I remember that I don't know what top I was wearing or what shirt I was wearing, but I remember it was a white short that I had on. You know, and usually when I was younger, you know, there was like a lot of like etiquette about, you know, that you have to be well behaved, and also that you have to take care of your clothes, not to get them dirty, and I always been good at that because actually I was never that athletic, to be honest. I was always very girly. Um, but that's the typical, like, actually, like, and like, I had used that, but I was very young, so I don't know. But I remember I had swam in that pool. So it wasn't like I didn't know it. But the typical, that you are running around the borders of the pool, and eventually I slept. I slept and I went down. But I went down in the, in the darkest part, in the deepest part. This is very Scorpio. Oh yes, I have a phobia of loud sounds and bang. Cats and dogs are not fond of fireworks. No animals seem to be a fan. I get panic attacks immediately. So bad when I'm afraid of alone because I'm. You know that I got that. I don't know why, but I got that as an adult. That fear of the expectation of the balloon to pop. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I think I remember that there was someone that it exploded next to me and it shocked me, but it was just a second. And now when someone is like, can you help me, like to make these balloons, I'm like, oh no, please don't, because it's not that I'm afraid that about them popping, it's more about the anticipation. I get very anxious about thinking like, oh my God, it's going to explode. Like, it's the anticipation that drives me crazy. Yeah, many birds and wildlife are very disturbed whenever we have these big fireworks. Yeah, and also maybe for a baby, a rim. I mean, you were very small. Is traumatic. Is traumatic. And also talking about babies, I do have this that I remember my mom used to tell me about it, how I freaked out that I almost scratched her in the face when she tried to grab me. And I have these sort of like flashes of this. I had this doll that it was like almost like my size. It wasn't like my size of doll. But I had her. I think that I had her like ever since I was very young, and I believe I was like 3 years old, 3 or 4. And I remember one. It was nighttime. I remember it was like, I don't know if it was Christmas, but we were all outside, and I don't know how, but the doll's head. I'm laughing because of them. The doll's head, it fell like, you know, it just, it separated from the body. I was playing with the doll, and the doll's head suddenly, like, it got detached from the body. And I started screaming like crazy, like as and I went to my mom and I started like asking her to grab me, and I would be like a cat trying to climb a tree, and she was like, you were so freaked out that you scratched me because of the desperation of the moment that I saw that my doll lost her head. I swear, for me it was so dramatic because maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, because if you have a doll, no, I mean, you play with that doll and you assume that that doll is like you, I guess, that you think that they are like just, people are not losing their heads like in a regular basis. I mean, that's where I lived. So when I saw that the head detached from the body, I got so freaked out, and I think that I even had nightmares about it because I just couldn't understand at that age that those get their heads detached. I don't know, but it was very traumatic for me. It was, oh my God. Like, oh guys, I mean, like children, like that's when you think about the innocence of a child, because then yes, I had Barbies and I have other dolls that that yeah, you just, you tear them apart, you get their arms and everything, they were articulated and everything, you can like disassemble them somehow. But this was a doll that it was, I believe it was a doll that it was uh, like almost as tall as me. So maybe, I don't know, I saw the doll as this sort of companion or this sort of like little sister, I don't know, or I just like, oh, she's like me but in smaller version. And all of a sudden I was playing with her and she lost her head. Oh my God. I saw serial doll limbs breaker, so I can relate. Ah, yeah, yeah. I think that probably I missed that opportunity of seeing someone disassembling the dolls. Probably for me it was unusual. Apparently, I enjoy pulling them apart. But at the doll that I had, it was the very antique ones. The ones that had that their bodies were made of fabric, that it was like a stuffed inside, but their torso was made of fabric, and their arms and everything was like sewed together to the fabric of the torso, their legs as well, and the head as well. It was this very thick doll, the ones that are like very like rubberish, but the head also was very heavy. So I don't know. But then, I mean, I interacted very well with the dolls that would disassemble. Actually, I would disassemble them myself, but I think that first experience, it was very crazy. Like, I used to bury my dolls when they were broken. When I was done with them. Why are we all either scared or straight up psycho? I pull out my fabric doll's eyes and tore her jacket. Don't judge, baby me fox. No, we don't. Of course, yeah, we all had like done some transformation to our dolls. Of course, the toys all moved on their own and scared my mom too. Yeah, I also had these dolls that you would turn on and they would have like music and like music and some like some lights inside of them. I don't know, transformation. Yeah, I remember like I had these Barbies and I would cut their hair. I would cut their hair really short and I would paint their hair. But I don't know. I don't know what was going through my mind in there. I think that I thought that that in my mind I couldn't understand why a doll that looks like us would lose their head. I think that it was like, oh my God, like, you know. Actually, my grandma had made a doll for me, so now I kind of feel bad about it. There was nothing to do around the technology. Didn't exist yet. Yeah, we experienced life through dolls. Yes. Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I always relate this, maybe in my past life, like I witnessed a lot of decapitations. So maybe, my younger self was afraid of that and got a bit freaked out because of that, like, I don't know, I'm trying to make sense of it because somehow I have flashbacks of that situation. So I know that happened. And I think that I asked my mom about it. She didn't tell me. I asked her about it. If this really happened or if this was a dream. but definitely it was in my unconscious. Okay, guys, do you have any more questions? Did something happen in K-pop this week, so we can pull cards about it? Because I have to go very soon because I can smell that my dad is cooking, so probably I have to go really quick. Which trials in your past life, maybe? Yeah, and now you're a high priestess. Yeah, I think that maybe I experienced some kind of, because it's like, for a child, it's like, oh yeah, this is weird, the head fell off. But for me, it was like this person lost his head or something like that. Myungsoo's drama. Myungsoo's drama. Yes, and my parents told everyone not to bring dolls as a gift. No, I know. I mean, I have the cards. I have the oracle of the past lives. I mean, I know I can do it, but I never had people asking me about it. Okay. Myungsoo. He got Knight of Swords. This could be him. Is he an earth sign? 10 of Wands. Six of Cups. And then from the oracle, he got the card of Rebuild. Pisces with Cancer Moon. Definitely, like, is this on the work? Is this on the work? Because I don't know why I feel like there are some limitations, definitely. He definitely, like, he doesn't feel that, like, he's very adaptable, but at the end, he doesn't feel that free. There's a lot of oppression and limitation. The 10 of Wands again. Maybe also it could be like a complication with others, like because also here with the card of Rebuild, this is like the card of the Tower. So it means that he has to have an open mind to somehow adapt and be ready to reconstruct some things. So honestly, he does have here with the Six of Cups. He goes through moments where he's like, this is not fun. Like I want to enjoy this process. Like I want this to be fun. And all of a sudden I have this oppression, like all this weight on my shoulders. Like I cannot relax. I'm feeling like I would want to be more adventurous, but there's like, he's a very complex individual, definitely. He goes through moods of like, oh, I'm having fun, to, oh, I feel like they don't let me express in my whole, like, I think he's very oppressed. This card also came out for these guys of Drippin. So definitely I think that there's something with oppression here. There's something with with there's a drama around oppression. You know, there's a drama around this this heavy weight of responsibility. It's like saying, "Oh, this again." Whenever I go or whatever activity I'm excited to do, somehow it always ends up like this. It ends up with a lot of oppression where I feel like I cannot be myself. Like it's sort of giving me a sort of deja vu. This is why he has the Six of Cups, you know, the nostalgia. It's like, oh, this is taking me back when back then I couldn't do what I wanted. So but he also has the experience of dealing with oppression. So it's like he complains, but at the same time he adapts. So he's a very complex individual. Honestly, it's airing in June. Yeah, with the card of rebuild, definitely, probably there could be some things that need to be redone. There are some things that need to be like executed again. There are some things that, you know, that could be destroyed, like, you know, like interrupted. Like there are some things that are not working, so they had to. And I think that this also has to do with relationships, you know, because this is the card, this is the oracle of the heart. So definitely with the rebuild, it's like if he had a fallout with someone or if he had a discussion with someone, that he should rebuild that connection and start over. You know, if there was like a sort of disagreement or where he felt like he wasn't understood or that there were some I don't know, some demands that weren't clear, that probably he misunderstood and he got upset, or he said something, because we have the Knight of Swords. So definitely I see that he's a guy that he is a bit like, he is straightforward when he wants to, and he is, you know, he has his ways of opinions, you know, so I think that probably there's something that he needs to rebuild. Either it's a relationship or a connection or an interaction with someone that probably got offended or something like that. Or him being offended. You know, I think that definitely he needs to work on adaptability, because probably this drama needs a lot of rebuild, you know, and it could go through moments of, okay, let's do this all over because it's not okay, so we have to adapt, you know, and change this and change that. And he's like, oh my God, like again, like, I agree. He's so simple yet complex. He's my bias for a year now, but I feel like I know him and not know him at the same time. I'm so intrigued about his personality. And he looks very at ease with infinite members, but around others, I do feel some tension and apprehension. Yes, he's a very tough guy also. Like there's something about him. He's not, I mean, it's not that he's not nice. It's just that he has his conditions, you know, and he has his, that maybe, you know, the others can, and also probably the industry, it's very hypocritical, you know, and like somehow they probably had a preconception of him, or they want to treat him as if he was this new guy, you know, and he's like, you know, I've been here for a while, so I know about struggles and I know about adaptability. Like, don't tell me how to be an artist because I know it, you know, but yeah. Yeah, he was so young, must mess up with his mind. Is he shy? I don't know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he feels so oppressed. Like, and I think that this somehow had made him feel paranoid. You know, like somehow he shields himself and he probably thinks like, oh, if they ask me to change this or rebuild this or do this all over, I feel like they are attacking me as a person, or they are somehow implying that I don't know how to do my job. You know, so he's like, oh, they do not let me be, and he takes it. But yes, it comes from traumas of the past, literally. Like, it's not that they are doing it on purpose, it's not that, that this is the life of the acting scene or the K-drama scene. Yeah, yeah. How the drama is going to go? The drama, it got the Queen of Cups, so definitely it's going to be loved by people. Is the drama related to some history or something from the past, like some historical kind of drama? Because it's going to make people feel emotional or go back to the past. Yeah, there's a lot of also probably pain, anger inside of him, because he feels restricted. It's like he feels triggered when people ask him to do things all over. He's like, but what are you saying with that? Are you saying that I'm not good enough? Like he gets triggered because of that. Oh, guys, did you see the Icon new song? I love it. I love it. Oh, oh my God. Probably this is for Icon. Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, the Star, Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Four of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, and I love the song. I love the song. And Minhyuk were the Taeyang of the generation. I think that we can also pull some cards for Taeyang and Lisa. Taeyang, actually. Taeyang and Lisa, since they had this release that actually I'm very upset that it was on the same day that Icon released their music. I know that it was done on purpose. I see it. I see you, YG. But anyways. Yeah, Taeyang. Not Taeyong, Taeyang. Also, now that Rim is here, Rim, I was summoning you the less live because there was someone saying that Girls' Generation Taeyang was going to have a duet with, who was it? With Yoongi. Remember, guys? Remember that there was this person asking for the reading? That we had to stop her because, or them, I don't know who they were. Yeah. And we were summoning Rim. We were summoning Rim because we were like, I was like, I need Rim to clarify this for me. If this is, yeah, it was fake. But we were like, okay, like we need this. Actually, wait, I posted about the drama Discord. Okay. Yes, you did. I love Taeyang and Lisa's song, but you're right. It overshadowed Icon. And also, I have to do a reading for 17 as well. They did amazing as well. It's really good, Hope. It's really good, Hope. Taeyang, Lisa. Oh wow, they really like each other. They really like each other. They really like each other. They got the two of cups. They really like each other. Lisa and Taeyang. Okay. From Taeyong's perspective, we got Eight of Swords and Fortitude. That it would be like the Strength card. So I think that honestly, from Taeyong's, is a Two of Cups. Is a Two of Cups. So is love. Um, I think that from Taeyong's perspective, I don't know why I feel like honestly, Taeyong feels also, you know, today that we talk about that we did mention um, yes, they really like each other. Taeyong here with the Eight of Swords. I feel like honestly, I don't know what's going on with Taeyong, but he's actually like he's feeling very pressured to do this. Like honestly, he's a guy that he's like, okay, yes, I can do it. I have the you know, have the experience, everything. But there's like, you know, today we mentioned a lot the word oppression. And I think that even though the Eight of Swords is not the card of oppression, but I think that for him it's like the oppression of the mind. The oppression of the mind. You know, he's someone that actually he's like he feels like his force had been like somehow like shortened. You know, like a slowed down, like repressed somehow. You know, he doesn't feel as energetic or as inspired as before, but he's trying, you know, his best with the strength card here. He's trying his best to overcome his fears or his insecurities. You know, he's someone that probably is like, okay, yeah, like I'm going to do it because, you know, it's I can do it. I have the integrity, like honestly, like he's like, you know, I can suppress my feelings and I can like overcome this and go. But somehow he feels like his force is not that active as before. You know, he probably feels very like like back then probably for him it was the energy, the inspiration, the motivation came out like easily, like in an instant. And in here is like he really is like struggling with I don't know. He just feels like, yeah, I have to be myself, but at the same time I cannot be myself, you know. And he probably is worried a lot about the outcome or the popularity of what he does, you know. But yeah, I don't know if he feels like he wished he had a better result. I don't know how he did or how his album did, but he's like, you know, I was expecting more, and all of a sudden, I don't have it, so I feel a bit like self-conscious. You know, I feel a bit vulnerable that it didn't come out as successful as I wanted it to be, you know, or there were a lot of things that were canceled or restricted. Trying to save YG image, Taeyang, I sympathize. Mm. There's no internet war. They just, I clarify it now. So yeah, but I think that it's okay. I think that probably the Two of Cups is also about, you know, a comprehension of two different personalities, you know, and in here we're talking about a duet. So definitely it means that their style go well together, and they actually there's like a correspondency among between them. You know, it's like a sort of mirroring. It's like, yes, we are one of the same, something like that. It's not always romantic, but yeah, they like each other. So that's, you know, that's also very valid when you work with someone or when you collaborate with someone. Maybe you have to collaborate with people that you don't like. So I think that this is great. And in the case of Lisa, she, as herself, she has the Princess of Wands, that is very Aries, the Princess of Wands, and she has the Ace of Cups. So yeah, I think that honestly, Lisa is being her shining self. You know, Lisa is a star. Lisa is that. I think that she is that strong charisma and a strong fire that probably, you know, Taeyang needs as a counterpart. You know, as this duo. He needs someone that can be fiery, you know, and definitely for her, I think that she's very honored that she's part, because she also has the Ace of Cups. So there's this opening of feelings, you know, like I'm really honored. Like really, from the bottom of my heart, I'm really honored that I'm having this opportunity. Like, thank you for considering me. You know, this is from artist to artist. So definitely, I think that. But she's like, really, I'm going to make you proud, because I'm really going to give my all as the Princess of Wands that I am, as the passionate performer that I am. I'm going to give it my all, so I can uplift this, you know, so I can make us shine even more. You know, Lisa is very competitive. For her, it's not like, oh yes, we're buddies, we are friends, or we are colleagues. So yes, you know, I will join your TikTok challenge. No, this is not about, you know, like, okay, you owe me a favor, or will you do me a favor to please participate? No, this is more like, I'm honored, really. Like I in my heart, I feel like she was very excited. You know, she was like, oh my God, like I'm going to do a collaboration with him. Maybe, I don't know about this. Maybe she's a real fan of him. Like, I don't know, maybe the fans know if she's a fan of Taeyong or if Taeyong is her bias. I don't know, but for her, this is a very much emotional moment. Taeyong bringing peace to both armies and Blinks is a national hero at this point. Yes, also, not to be swallowed, but even the backup dancers were super hot in that song. Oh, it's just that I'm in love. I'm in love with is it the one twins? I'm in love with them. I love both of them. Actually, my favorite is the one that always wears black hair. The one that is a bit more serious. That's my favorite twin. I love him. I love him. I want to marry him. But yeah, like every time I see a YG video with backup dancers, I expect, and my eyes go, are the one brothers in there? You know, like I really like, I want them. I want to see them. And yes, to clarify the Two of Cups, the Two of Cups. We have the card of Healing Begins. This is the card that this is the chakra of the heart as well, you know. I think that honestly, with Healing Begins, you know, because I definitely saw something in Taeyong's energy. Probably is about him doing solo activities. Like, I think that even though he's a great soloist, I think that definitely there's a lot of weight on his mind about doing solo activities. And even though it's his job and he's doing amazing, there's something about him craving a partner, you know, him craving like a creative partner or someone that is resonates with his artistic self, and that he can, create this synastry among them. This is why he has the Two of Cups with Lisa, because it's like each of them with the different styles, they have something in common. So they joined their talents and they created something. And also Healing Begins is about him like recognizing that in unity with others, he feels safer, or he feels like he can enjoy, like he feels like when he does collaboration with others, he feels like now he's enjoying it more. Like somehow he's looking for the connection with other artists. He doesn't want to be alone in this. He doesn't want to promote himself alone. He probably is thinking like, I feel better and I feel like I heal my past and I heal myself as an artist when I work with others. And also, the six is also could talk about him feeling nostalgic about the group, and him being like, I envy people that get the chance to still work with the group or as a group, because at the moment I cannot do it. So there's something about healing with him. He definitely, with the strength card here, he's definitely doing his best to remain strong, to remain diligent, to remain the artist that he is, and it's because the fans are waiting for him, the fans are expecting him, but probably he feels lonely. Or he feels a bit like, I wish the other guys were with me, or I wish, something about him doing this at this moment, being a soloist. It has brought up some healing that he has to do about, I feel really lonely doing this. Like, I know I can do it. Like he's a professional. We know that he's going to pull it off. But maybe, he's realizing that, that he misses collaborations, he misses working with others, that there's something missing in here. There's something, he needs the connection with others. Isn't his moon in Libra? I don't know why he reminds me of a Libra moon, Taeyang. Moon in Gemini. Yeah, definitely. I think that Taeyang mentally, he has his, things. He's worried. He had been traumatized by something. And probably for him, it's like he has the cards of Healing Begins. So probably, I don't know, he was offered something that he was like, okay, I feel like or either he's trusting the company, but the healing is beginning for him thanks to these collaborations or these new opportunities. But definitely for him it's not easy. He's a very brave person. I don't know exactly like what's going on in his mind, but definitely he does have his worries. Gemini Moon Taeyang. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I feel like of course, that Taeyang. I mean, we know Taeyang. He has amazing, like, we know he can be a soloist. It's not that he's doing this for the first time. But I think that at this point in his life, he feels a bit like disappointed. Like, oh, this is not. I thought I would have fun doing this, but I'm not in the right state of mind, And also probably he's thinking a lot about the past. And honestly, we have to think about what's going on in YG. We don't know what's going on or what is Big Bang members' positions or feelings about YG. But definitely for Taeyang, there's this sense of uncomfortableness, you know, mentally. Like, yes, even though I know I have the strength, I know I have the ability, I know I have the talent, I can do it. I can do this project. Like, you know, this is not about not knowing how to do something. This is more about him reflecting about the workplace, I don't know, people he used to know, the members, the other members where they are now. You know, there may be a lot of things in his mind that we don't know about. This is why it's mentally. But all I know is that with the strength card, he definitely is like trying to do his best to not, you know, to keep going. You know, he's trying. So yes, guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. I have to go because I have to go have lunch with my family. But thank you so much for being here. And yes, I'll probably I will see you. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow. If I don't know what time. Probably it could be like at 10. Yeah, at 10 a.m. Because if it's afterwards, then will people coming? So maybe we can do this like at the usual time. So yes, guys, thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you. Bye. Have a great weekend.